Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. I welcome all of you to join the session on Parliamentary Provision in Government. Let us start, please.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. First, let us see our Parliament. Let us see the. This is the building of the Parliament House, old Parliament House, and Parliament is consisting of three items. Anybody is aware what is the three items? Three authority, three body. Anybody? Parliament is consisting of what? Whether anybody will respond?
Uh, sir,
Kavita
you,
ji.
sir, you please continue.
O-
Maybe.
Okay. Okay. Then Parliament is consisting of President, this President House, Rajya Sabha, and Lok Sabha. Old building. Okay. Now, Parliament of India. Parliament in India is the supreme legislative body of the Republic of India, highest authority of the country. Parliament consists of the President of India, Council of States, and Rajya Sabha, known as Upper House, House of People, Lok Sabha, known as Lower House. The President. President is elected by the Member of Parliament and MLAs throughout the country. Summons and prorogues the two houses. Dissolve the Lok Sabha. Promulgates ordinances when Parliament is not session and some important issue is to be notified. It is done through the by the issuing of ordinance by the President. Give assent to the bill. When a bill is presented to the Parliament after its passing, it requires the assent of the President. Then it becomes Act. Rajya Sabha. Second organ is Rajya Sabha. Maximum strength is 250. Out of 250, 238 are representative of the states and UTs, and 12 are nominated or appointed by the President of India from the eminent persons. Rajya Sabha. Chairperson of Rajya Sabha is Vice President of India. Selection of members of the Rajya Sabha. Who select the member of the Rajya Sabha? Members are selected by the state legislative assemblies of the concerned state. Proportional representation is the system of election, and states seats are allocated on the basis of population of the particular state. 12 members selected by the president having social knowledge in the field of science and technology or literature. Only Delhi and Pondicherry have the representative in the Rajya Sabha. Other union territories do not have any representation in the Rajya Sabha. Features of the Rajya Sabha. What are the features of Rajya Sabha? It is a permanent body. Every 2 years, one-third of its members are retired. Their seats are filled by presidential nominations and elections. Out of the 12, if somebody is retired, then it is nominated by the president. The rest are elected by the state's government. States, not government, MLAs. The term of office of Rajya Sabha MP and the order of retirement of MPs decided by the Parliament, which is 6 years. Special powers of Rajya Sabha. What is a special power of Rajya Sabha? Allows the Parliament to make laws on matters in the state list. You are aware there are three lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. The member of the Parliament representing Rajya Sabha allows the Parliament to make law on the matter of the state list. Allows Parliament to create a new All India service common to centre and states. Sessions. There are three sessions of the Parliament. Budget session held during January, March, February and March. Monsoon session July, August, September. Winter session November and December. Lok Sabha. The sanction strength of the Lok Sabha is 550, state 530, union territories 20, which includes 2 seats for Anglo-Indian. Presiding officer, who is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. Speaker of the Lok Sabha is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. Member selection, how the member of the Lok Sabha are selected. Elected directly by the people of India. Voting age is 18 years and above. Election happens once in 5 years unless due to any other reason. Features of the Lok Sabha, salient feature of the Lok Sabha. To ensure uniformity of representation between different states and within a state between different constituencies. After every census delimitations exercise is done to decide representation to each state and territorial constituency in each state. The allocation of seats were frozen till the year 2026. After the census in 2027, there may be change in the figure. Next, qualification to become a member of parliament. For becoming member of the parliament, it is necessary that one must be a citizen of the India, citizen of the country, not less than 30 years of age for Rajya Sabha and 20 years for the Lok Sabha. And for becoming member of the Rajya Sabha, one must having the age of 30 years, and for Lok Sabha, 25 years. Any other qualification as prescribed by the parliament. Next, must be registered as a voter in any parliamentary constituency. Now, another thing is those who are seeking election of Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha, they should be registered as a voter in any of the parliamentary constituencies of the country. For reserved seats, must be of ST or ST category. Disqualification, in which case a member of the parliament can be disqualified. First, if he holds an office of profit under union or state government only, then he can be disqualified. Unsound mind, undischarged, insolvent, and not a citizen of India, then his membership can be disqualified. On being found guilty of electoral offences and corrupt practices in elections, sentenced for more than 2 years imprisonment for a crime, holds an office of profit in a company where government holding 25% or more, has interest in government contract works, then he will be disqualified. Has been convicted of preaching social crimes like untouchability, dowry, and sati. Has been convicted of promoting enmity between groups or bribery. Has been dismissed from government service for disloyalty to state or involved in corruption, then he can be disqualified. Next, sessions. Similarly, Rajya Sabha, same thing is applicable in the case of Lok Sabha. Budget session, January, February, March. Monsoon session, July, August, September. Winter session, November to December. Next, procedure in Parliament. What is the procedure in Parliament? Processing of the bill. First, processing of the bill. Bill can be introduced in any of the house except money bill. Money bill is relating to taxation and it is introduced only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. When bill is introduced in the house in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, first it is sent to the committee. Committee will examine it. Then it is also reviewed by the subcommittee which is formed by the speaker. Voting by the full chamber on the bill. Then full house उसके ऊपर voting करेगा. Referral of the bill to the other chamber, any other house, Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. On approval, both the houses goes to the president for final assent. When both the houses pass the bill for voting, then it is sent to the president for his or her final assent. After completion of the whole process, it becomes act. When it is cleared by the Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha, then the president, it becomes act. Bill becomes act. Next. Concept of parliament in India is sovereignty वेस्ट with the people. यानी पार्लियामेंट का कंसेप्ट क्या है? फॉर द पीपल, बाय द पीपल एंड ऑफ द पीपल. सॉवरेंटी वेस्ट विद द पीपल यानी जो सिटीजन ऑफ द कंट्री है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल एंड फॉर द पीपल. नेक्स्ट, representative democracy. Because the members are elected by the public, by the citizens of the country, it is known as representative democracy. Exercise of power and sovereignty by all leads to a situation of anarchy. Here it means if everybody is given power to make law, then it creates a situation of anarchy. That is why it is a representative democracy. Therefore, need for a representative democracy. Members are representative of the public, representative of the citizen of the country. Next, people exercise their sovereign power through the elected members. The members of the parliament are elected by the public of the country and they exercise the power given to them by the public. Next, representative parliamentary democracy. Parliament is an institution for exercise of the people's sovereignty. People through voting elect representatives to the parliament, pivot on which political system revolves. Next, this is a statement issued by Sri Subhas Kashyap, who has been Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. What he has mentioned, our parliament is a kind of polity where the supreme power vests in the body of people's representatives called parliament. This statement is given by Subhas Kashyap, former Secretary General Lok Sabha. Next, President and Parliament. What is the relation between President and the Parliament? Essential for a bill passed to become a law. When a bill is introduced in the House of the Parliament and after they passed it, it requires the assent of the President before becoming of an act. Then, President is the most important component of the Parliament. Without his assent, no bill can become act. Addresses the Parliament and lays out the agenda. Next, nominates members to both houses, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. He nominates member. Next, parliamentary terms. Now, different kinds of terms are used in the parliament system of the country. What are the important terms? Let us see that. Session. President summons each house of the parliament to meet, transact business. Yani before a session is started, it is required to be summoned by the president. Next very important point is gap between two sessions cannot exceed 6 months. And between the two sessions of the parliament, it is necessary that the gap should not be more than 6 months. Or budget session, previously it was February to May, now it is January to March. Monsoon session, July to September, winter session, November to December. Next, sitting. Sitting means assembling of members of House to transact business allotted on a day during session. A schedule is prepared both for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and members transact the business during that session. Provisional calendar of sitting issued along with the summons for a session. As soon as the president summons the parliament, a provisional schedule is prepared. Timing of the Lok Sabha is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. both for Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. This is the timing for the business hours of the parliament. Next, Quorum. Quorum means minimum number of MPs required to be present in the House to transact business. And at a particular time to do the business of the Parliament, what is the minimum number of MPs required to be available in the House? The limit is 1/10 of the total number of the members of the House under Article 103 of the Constitution. Yani, for doing a business in the House, it is mandatory necessary that 1/10 members should be present in the House at the time. Next, adjournment. Postponement of the sitting or proceedings of the House from one time to another specified for the reassembly of the House. Yani, if there is some disturbance in the House, adjournment is made. Yani the present sitting is postponed for the time being. Next, it may also be urgent sign time. Sign time means without fixing any next sitting, without fixing any date, without fixing any time, which means the termination of the sitting of the House without any definite date being fixed for its next sitting, known as sign die. Adjournment of the House, sign die. Next, prorogation. Termination of House. Prorogation means terminate the session of the House by an order made by the President under Article 85(2)(a) of the Constitution. May take place anytime, even while House is sitting. The prorogation can be held at any time, even when the sitting of the House is going on. Usually, prorogation follows the adjournment of the sitting of the House sign die. Next, dissolution. Dissolution means end of the life of the Lok Sabha either. यानी अब 5 years हो गए हैं, then there will be re-election. So that term is known as dissolution of the House, or other, what is the other term? By an order made by the President under Article 85(2)(b) of the Constitution, or on the expiration of the period of 5 years from the date appointed for its first meeting, even if no formal President's order is issued. And when the Parliament has lived its life of 5 years, then it is automatically dissolved. Next, effect on pending business. Now it is very important thing है. अब some business is pending in the House. If some dissolution is there, adjournment is there, then what will happen to that business? The three terms we have used: adjournment, prorogation, and dissolution. In the case of adjournment, pending business does not lapse. The business which was going on and Parliament was adjourned, that business will not lapse. It will continue and it will be handled by the member in the next sitting. Prorogation. Pending business does not lapse. In that case also, the pending business which was going on earlier will not lapse. It will continue and will be discussed in the next sitting. Dissolution. In the case of dissolution, all business pending before the House, Lok Sabha, or any office committee lapses. All the business in the case of dissolution will lapse. It will not be discussed in the next Lok Sabha. Next, question hour. What is the timing of the question hour? The hour of every sitting in the House available for the asking and answering the questions. Question hour क्या है? In the time fixed in which a member can raise any question, ask any question to the concerned minister. Yani in the Lok Sabha, the question hour is from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Fixed time. It cannot be changed. In case of the Rajya Sabha, it is from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Yani as soon as it is over in the Lok Sabha, then it will start in the Rajya Sabha. Next, zero hour. What is zero hour? Zero hour is interregnum between end of the question hour and beginning of the regular listed business. As soon as the question hour ends, then zero hour will start. Matters of national importance can be raised with prior permission of the chair in advance notice has to be given. For this purpose, advance notice is required to be given to the speaker for raising a question in the zero hour. No mention in the rules, but it is nowhere mentioned in the rules. What is the provision of 0 hour? It is as per practice. Government is not obliged to reply. For question raised in 0 hour, it is not necessary that government or the minister will reply to these questions. Next. Parliamentary questions of the technico-parliamentary surveillance. What is this? What is parliamentary question? Parliament questions particularly are raised by the opposition party to check the functioning of the ruling party. Questions are asked primarily to elicit information, to ensure accountability, and for exercising a kind of legislative control over the executive actions. And through the parliament questions, it is ensured that accountability is fixed and there is legislative control over the executive. Next, types of questions. How many types of questions are there? First is starred questions. Another is unstarred question. Third is short notice question. Three types of questions are raised in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Let us see what is starred questions. A question may be addressed to the private members also. Next, let us see points of difference between the three. What is the main difference between the starred question, unstarred questions, and short notice questions? First, nature of reply. Starred questions are oral, answered orally with supplementary questions. And it is a discussion, a particular question raised by the member and it is answered by the minister. And he can ask some supplementary questions also in addition to the oral questions. Unstarred questions are written and no supplementary questions can be raised. And what has written in his questions, only that will be answered in writing by the concerned department, concerned ministry, and applied by the minister. Short notice questions, oral with supplementary questions, and in the short notice questions, in addition to oral, there may be supplementary questions, can be answered only when minister concurred. When it is approved by the minister, only it can be answered. Notice period. For start question, notice period is 15 days. The start question raised by a member of the House, notice period required for, he has to give in advance 15 days notice. For a start question also, time fixed is 15 days. He has to submit his question 15 days before the date. In case of short notice questions, it can be asked less than 10 days. Days as allotted to departments, fixed days, yani in parliament, there are 70 ministries, 102 demand for grants, department-wise dates are fixed. So these start questions can be asked to the concerned department only for the days fixed to that department. Similarly, in that case on start questions, as allotted to departments, fixed days, only during the days fixed for a particular department, start questions or unstart question can be asked. Now, short notice questions. Any day of the week on urgent matters of public importance, and there is no binding of a particular date or a particular ministry, but the matter should be urgent in national interest. Next. Next, further points of difference, start questions. Maximum number of questions asked in a day. In the Lok Sabha, maximum start questions can be asked 20. In the Lok Sabha, in a particular day, 15. Unstart questions, Lok Sabha 230 plus 25 maximum relating to states under president rule. When a state is placed under president rule, so the question relating to states are asked in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha, then maximum 25 questions can be asked in a day. In the Lok Sabha, 155 and 15 plus, and plus 15 means relating to states under president's rule, but total should not exceed 175. Short notice, only one question short notice can be asked in a day. Timing, what are the timing for this? During question hour. Start questions can be asked during question hour. Unstart questions also can be asked during question hour, or short notice questions immediately after answering start questions. Next. Okay. Now, further different points of difference. Special features. Start question no special feature, and start question no special feature. Short notice question feature है. Only urgent matter of public importance. If there is some crisis in some area or somewhere, short notice question can be asked by the member. But for answering, consent of the minister is required. If reviews, then it becomes a start question. If a start notice is refused by the concerned ministry, by the minister, then it becomes start questions. Number one for the next question day of that ministry. In that case, on the next duration, next period allotted to the particular ministry, that question will find number one place. Next. Okay, up now, MPs have a right to ask questions. Right is governed by certain conditions. What are the conditions? Which are to be complied by the member of the parliament before asking a questions. Now, let us see what are the right of the first following questions not permitted. Which questions are not permitted? On character or conduct of any person except in official or public capacity. Next. Abstract legal questions or a hypothetical proposition. Yani on a hypothetical proposition, no questions can be asked by a member of the parliament. Next है, to which information available in accessible documents or in ordinary works of reference, and in the information available on the site of the department. On the such situation, members are not allowed to answer the questions, which are in substance repetitions of those answered previously. Suppose on a particular matter, some answer was given by the honorable minister or the ministry. On such substantive issues, repetition of answer is not allowed. Question the subject before a parliament committee. If some matter is sent to a parliament committee for their discussion, it is also not answered in the house, and members are not allowed to raise such kind of questions. Making discourteous reference to foreign countries with whom India has friendly relations. A member of parliament is not allowed to ask any questions about a foreign country in discourteous manners. Next, seeking secret information like cabinet discussion or advice. Some decision of the cabinet taken by the cabinet cannot be asked by the member. Next, pursuing a matter already under correspondence between the member and the ministry or the minister or the ministry. If some correspondence is going on between ministry and the member of the parliament, relating to that, question will not be allowed to asked. Next. Now, a question has been received by a ministry. Then what action required to be taken by the ministry? First, check whether subject concern or not. First, the department, the ministry will check whether the question is pertaining to them or not, whether it is their subject or not. If subject relating to the concerned ministry, collect information and prepare draft reply. They will prepare a draft reply, and through the proper channel, through the secretary, it will be required to be approved by the concerned minister. ओके, रिवाइज ऑन रिसीट। ये फर्स्ट आपके पास एक नोटिस आता है उसके बाद आपके पास एक प्रिंटेड क्वेश्चन आएगा, वर्सन आएगा, अवेलेबल 5 days बिफोर, बिफोर आंसरिंग इट शुड बी अवेलेबल टू द मिनिस्ट्री विद इन 5 days बिफोर आंसरिंग. If there is a slightly difference in the earlier information and the revised receipt, then it will be rectified. Next step. If subject matter is not concerned to the ministry, some questions are marked to a ministry with which the ministry is not concerned. In that case, what will happen? Transfer question to the concerned department under intimation to Lok Sabha. Immediately, that questions will be transferred to that ministry really concerned. Question transferred if other department accept. Suppose department is accept, yes, the question pertain to us. This will transfer to them. Whereas suppose department has not accepted, otherwise has to be replied to under compulsion and then transferred pursued after replying. Suppose the department has not accepted it. The department which has received the questions, they have to reply it. Information being collected. Such kind of information is given to the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha as the case may be. And finally, on ascertaining that this question is pertaining to a particular department, it will be transferred to them. And they will be asked to, and they will pursue to give the reply to the House. Next. Action by Ministry on receipt of short notice questions. Examine whether to answer at short notice. If the information is very large and it cannot be asked on a short notice, then what will happen? If acceptable, then prepare the draft reply. Note for supplementaries. You just understand here what is supplementary. Suppose certain question has been asked in the short notice question. Suppose somebody is asking information about the pay commission. Then department will also prepare supplementary for that. It may contain what was the percentage allowed in previous 2, 3 houses, what were the other rates, what were the other prerequisites given to the employees. These are known as note for supplementaries, so that the minister can spontaneously give reply to the concerned member immediately without waiting for the information from the ministry. Or if it is not ready, then suggest the date for that. It will be answered within 10 days, 15 days. If not accepted, immediately communicate to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha Secretariat. If the questions is not pertain to particular department, particular ministry, then Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha to whom the question is concerned is informed immediately. Next, reply to questions. Format of reply. What is the format of the parliament questions? Questions on the left hand side, question number written on the left hand side, and corresponding replies set out in the parallel columns against each. ABC फॉर्म होते हैं, उसके अंदर उसी के अकॉर्डिंग रिप्लाई दिया जाता है. In start questions, position to be given on the top right hand corner of reply. What is the number of the question that is given on the top right hand corner of the reply? Answer to be precise, unambiguous, and complete. It should be complete without any ambiguity. Yes, no references unless consciously intended. If you are interested to give the replies, then you accept the assurance, give the assurance. If you are not interested, you are not intended to give the reply, then don't give any assurance. Notes on supplementary, then you have to give the answer, to have to make supplement notes on supplementary also. What further answer can be, first question can be asked by the member. Refer documents to be placed in the Parliament library. If some references are there, then you have to send the refer document to the Parliament library. Answer not to refer to answer of the other house. Suppose same kind of question was asked in Lok Sabha and now answer is given in the Rajya Sabha, it should not be referred like that. Next, note for supplementary. What is note for supplementary? Needy in case of start and short notice questions. In that case, if the member is asking some additional information verbally, then minister should be ready. If he asks other question, what should be reply? It should be handy with the minister. 2. Intelligently anticipate material required to answer questions that could be asked. In that case, what 4 questions can be asked by the member? The minister should be ready to that, and department should supply the information after speculating, after anticipating. Such kind of question can be asked by the member. Follow departmental instructions. यानी जो departmental instruction है, they also require to be followed. इंडेक्स, आपको जो क्वेश्चंस का सप्लीमेंट्री का इंडेक्स बनाना है. ओके, नेक्स्ट. नोट फॉर सप्लीमेंट्री. Details of member asking questions. Name of the member, which party he belongs, and what is his constituencies. Constituency number, name of the constituency. Thrust of the question. What is the main context of the question? क्या what is the main thesis of the question? क्या पूछना चाह रहा है? Subject matter उसका. Basis for the reply. On what basis you have given reply? You have information, or you have report of a commission, you have report of a departmental committee. So that is the basis of the reply. You collect information from the state, you collect information from the department. That will be the basis for reply to the question. Context. The present status, action taken. What is the present status of the particular query raised by the member, and what action you have taken, what action being taken, what previously was taken, what is the pendency. All these things start to be given. Next, the problem or issues on which action still to be taken. What are the issues on which, on the problems, on the queries, action is required to be taken, yet to be taken, or being taken. Reason for the delay, if any, resource, constraint, completion, target, date, etc. Reasons for the delay. What, suppose some road is constructed and time frame was given for that. Now it has been delayed, and honorable member is asking to the minister why the delay. Then he will have to explain the reason. What was the reason? There was a delay in acquiring the land. There was some natural calamity. The contractor has withdrawn. So many things are there. There was a resource constraint. Funds could not be provided to the contractor. All these things are to be explained by the minister. And what is the further target? By which date the work will be completed? We has to inform to the member by the minister. Avoid phrases that could be treated as assurance. Details of annexure. Now, supplementary के साथ what are the annexures? He has to explain. Next. Okay. In your accuracy, in questions के अगर कोई inaccuracy है तो concerned minister will give notice within 1 week of reply to Secretary General of Lok Sabha of the intention to make a statement along with a copy of statement indicating corrections to be made. अब यह देखिएगा. Suppose some information has been wrongly given in the answer, and it has been pointed out by the member. Like information given is incorrect, then the concerned minister will reply to the Lok Sabha or Secretary General of the Lok Sabha as well Rajya Sabha, to whom the question pertain within a period of 1 week, along with a copy of statement indicating corrections to be made. और उसमें बताएगा कि the mistake in the question was so and so, now it is the correct statement. This is to be done by the minister within a week. Next, statement to be supported by the reason for delay. Now, what was the reason of delay? Is required to be submitted, should be supported. Next, after statements made, speaker may allow supplementary questions when the information is given to the Secretary General Lok Sabha then speaker may ask the member to ask any supplementary questions to the member who has made the questions. Next, if House is in session, item to be included in the business of any day decided by the speaker. If House is not in session, Minister may call to make statement in the next session. If when the information submitted to the Lok Sabha to Rajya Sabha Secretary General, and at that time the Parliament is not session, then it will be answered by the honorable member in the next session. Next, questions to private bill. Private member is a member other than the member of the Council of Ministers. They are known as private member bill. Questions can be addressed provided the subject matter of question relates to resolution of a bill or any other matter relating to the House business for which private member is responsible. Conditions of notice period, conditions of admissibility and procedure of drafting reply are same as that of normal questions. नो प्रोविजन फॉर शॉर्ट नोटिस क्वेश्चन बाय द प्राइवेट मेंबर। इस केस के अंदर में जो शॉर्ट नोटिस क्वेश्चंस का प्रोविजन नहीं है। नेक्स्ट, हाफ एन आवर डिस्कशन। व्हाट इज दिस इन द हाउस? व्हेन आंसर टू ए क्वेश्चन नीड्स एलुसिडेशन, यानी मोर इंफॉर्मेशन, मोर एक्सप्लेनेशन, then on notice of 3 days by any member, then a member can give 3 days notice. Presiding officer may allot half an hour discussion. Then Lok Sabha Speaker or the Chairman Rajya Sabha can allow half an hour discussion on that issue. On 3 days, what are the date fixed for that? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The 3 days are fixed for half an hour discussion. Held in last 30 minutes of the sitting. The House का 30 minutes last का यानी beyond 6 hours for half an hour it can be discussed on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Next, member makes a statement. Minister gives a reply. Then during this half an hour, Minister will make a statement, will raise a questions, then that will be answered by the Honorable Minister of the concerned ministry to which the question relate. Not more than 4 members may ask clarificatory questions. Now there is a rider for the rider. Only 4 members are allowed to clarificatory questions on this matter. Next, calling attention. What is calling attention? With prior permission of the Speaker or Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, any member can give a calling attention. Call attention of minister to any matter of urgent public importance. The concerned minister को calling attention करेगा. The thing is very urgent and is in public interest. Matters primarily concerning union government. It is also mandatory, it is also necessary that matters should be of union government, not of the state or UTs. Minister may make brief statement or ask for a time to make statement later. Now it depends upon the minister. If the information is available with him, he can straightforward give a brief statement. If information is not available, some times will take in collection of the information, then he may take time and make a statement later on. There will be no debate on that. Only brief clarification to the member called by the presiding officer. Next time, no subject to vote of the House. In that case, there will be no questions of voting in the House. Next, adjournment motion. Procedure for adjournment of the business of the House for the purpose of discussing a definite matter of urgent public importance can be moved with the consent of the Speaker. Any member has to seek permission of the Speaker. On his consent, it can be go ahead. Take the government to task for a recent act of commission or commission having serious consequences. The member will take to task the government where some omission or commission or lapse has taken place and leading to a serious consequence. Adoption is regarded as a sort of censure of the government. And this is a step taken against the government by the honorable member of the House. Now, assurance. What is assurance? Undertaking promise given by a minister during course of reply to questions involving further action by the government. Suppose a member has asked some questions and full information could not be provided by the member, then he will give a assurance. He will give a assurance that he will provide the information on this question subsequently to be filled within 3 months. Like it is a provision that assurance given by the minister should be fulfilled within a period of 3 months. Ministry department may seek in extension. Suppose the information is so large and it cannot be collected within a period of 3 months, then extension can be sought by the department. Do not lapse on dissolution. Like here, when house is dissolved, that assurance will stand and the further house will respond to that. To be entered in the register by parliament unit of the ministry department. Every ministry has a parliament section, parliament unit. They maintain a register of the assurance and they will keep a track of that the assurance has been fulfilled or not. Next tab. Example of statement of assurances. What are the example? First, the minister will ask, will respond to the assurance to the member, the matter is under consideration. I am reviewing the position. Inquiries are being made. I think it can be done. I shall inform the honorable member. The matter will be taken up with the concerned state government. If person is question relating to query relating to issues relating to state government, what will ask? The matter is taken with the concerned state government. Efforts are being made to collect the data, collect the information. These are the reply given to the assurance by the concerned minister. Assurance communication are communicated by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. There are other ministry whose prepares rule of the Parliament that is known as Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Time taken is within 10 days. मिनिस्ट्री आल्सो कीप ए ट्रैक एश्योरेंस का ट्रैक करती है आंसर दिया गया है अभी उसका एश्योरेंस का फुलफिल किया नहीं किया गया है एक्शन में बी इनिशिएटेड बट फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन इज अवेटेड time is maximum time start to filled within 3 months if the information is not readily available within 3 months time can be sought by the department concerned from the house from the speaker now extension can be also granted by Committee on Government Assurances. Now there is other committee of the House known as Committee on Government Assurances that can give extension. If fulfillment not possible in 3 months, extension can be granted by the Committee on Government Assurances. Request for extension must have approval of the minister. Department seeking approval, extension of the assurance, it should be approved by the minister. Requests are addressed to Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs for Lok Sabha and for the Rajya Sabha, request may be sent directly to the Rajya Sabha Secretariat. Part fulfillments are also allowed. Suppose a large question is there, it has so many parts, then out of 5, only 2 had been fulfilled. The information will be given to the for which information is available, and for the rest, the information will be provided later. Next, partially or complete fulfillment must have approval of the minister concerned. Implementation reports are sent to Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. 15 copies plus the number of members in the admitted questions. Copy is endorsed to the Parliament unit of the Ministry. Minister of Parliament Affairs arranges to lay it on the table of the House. Member and department concerned are kept informed. Next, parliamentary committees. Now, to run the business of the House, business of the Parliament, there are certain parliamentary committees. Need for vigilance on the part of the legislature over the actions of the executive. They keep a watch, keep in vigilance on behalf of the Parliament on the executive of the concerned ministry. Legislature is overburdened with the heavy volume of work with limited time and expertise at its disposal. For a thorough and systematic scrutiny, Parliament requires an agency in which it has confidence that is known as Parliamentary Committee. A good deal of parliamentary business is conducted by its committees. Deal with specific items of business requiring comprehensive and judicious consideration. A committee is microcosm of the House. Members work in close cooperation which is not otherwise visible. Yani in a parliamentary committee, members from different parties are there. Next, serves as a forum for tapping skills and abilities that otherwise go unnoticed. Training ground for future ministers and presiding officers by making aware of administration matters and day-to-day problems. Link between parliament, government and people, thereby ensuring parliamentary democracy, participative democracy. Next है definitions क्या है इसका? Appointed, elected by House or nominated by the presiding officer. Works under the direction of the presiding officer means Speaker or Chairman Rajya Sabha. Present the report to the presiding officer यानी Speaker Lok Sabha or Chairman Rajya Sabha, as the case may be. Secretariat services are provided by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha Secretariat. जो उसका supporting staff है, that is provided by the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, as the case may be. Now, how many parliamentary committees are there? First, as a Financials Committee. Departmental related standing committees. Every department is having a department related standing committee who's examine the functioning of the department on the basis of detailed demand for grants submitted by them as well as annual report of the department. Other standing committees are ad hoc committee. Now, finance committee कौन सी है? Undertake detailed scrutiny of the government spending and performance. Sources accountability of executive to parliament in financial matters. Estimate committee. Now, under the financial committees, one is estimate committee having 30 members from the Lok Sabha. Next step, public PAC, most important committee of the parliament having 15 members from the Lok Sabha and 7 members from the Rajya Sabha. Committee on Public Undertakings, 15 from the Lok Sabha, 7 from Rajya Sabha. In COPU, Committee on Public Undertaking, it examines the functioning of the public sector undertaking of the government. Or next, department related standing committees. Thus, there are 24 such committees looking after the functioning of the various ministries of the government. All ministry departments of government India under their jurisdiction. Strength 31, 21 from Lok Sabha, 10 from the Rajya Sabha. Nominated by the Speaker Lok Sabha and Chairman Rajya Sabha, 31 members. Out of 31 members, 21 are nominated by the Lok Sabha Speaker and 10 by the Rajya Sabha Chairman. Tenure is 1 year, and every expiry of the year, a new committee is formed. Functioning of DRSs. Consider detailed demands of grants prepared by the various ministry departments relating to their budget. Exercise full scrutiny on behalf of the Parliament. Exam bills refer to it. If a bill pertaining to any department is referred to that is examined by the particular standing committee of the department. Consider annual report of the department. consider national basic long-term policy of the policy documents prepared by the department, examine or not to interfere in day-to-day administration of the ministry. Next, other standing committees, also called House committees. They relate to day-to-day business of the House. Business Advisory Committee, Committee on Empowerment of Women, Committee on Government Assurances, Committee on Welfare of the SC/ST. Next, ad hoc committees. Ad hoc committees appointed for specific purpose and ceases to exist on finishing of that task. Select joint committees on bill appointed for scrutiny and report on particular bills. Committee constituted from time to time to examine a particular issue. Now have very important point, budgetary process in Parliament. What is the role of Parliament in the budgetary process of the country? Okay, now every department of the government of India prepare their budget and submit it to the Ministry of Finance. Submit it to Ministry of Finance. In addition to that, every ministry prepare their DDG, detailed demand for grants relating to their budget proposals. Okay, now budget prepared by every ministry submitted to Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance consolidated the budget of the whole country in a document known as DC, demand for grants. And here 2 points is there. Department prepared the budget in the form of DDG, and Ministry of Finance controlled them in the form of DC. Now DC contains figure in crore and DDG contains figure in thousands. Now budget prepared by the Ministry of Finance is submitted to the Parliament by Honorable Finance Minister on 1st February. Our budget session of the Parliament starts during the last week of January. In the first phase, there is a general discussion on the budget in the House, in the Parliament. General discussion होता है, particular department के लिए नहीं होता. Now, I just told you, every department prepare their budget in the form of detailed demands for grants, and this DDG is laid on the table of both the Houses of the Parliament by the concerned ministry. Now, first, in the first phase, the Parliament session divided into 3 phases. During the first phase, beginning from last week of January to approximately 12th of February, first phase is there. Only the general discussion in the House is held. After that, there is a recess of Parliament for 4 weeks. And during that period, DRSC, Department Related Standing Committees attached to the particular ministry, examines the DDG prepared by the concerned ministry. Then, after expiry of the 4 weeks, during the third week, demand-wise discussion is held in the Parliament. There are 102 demand, and a schedule is prepared by the Ministry of Parliament Affairs on which date, the budget of which department will be discussed in Parliament. Honorable member bring cut motion. Now during this period, honorable members will ask any kind of question relating to that ministries. That is known as cut motions. Cut motion is a resentment shown by the honorable member of the Parliament to the concerned minister. The demands which could not be discussed are passed through gluten. Now, there are certain dates on which there is a disturbance in the Parliament and no business is held during that period. And the system of the Parliament is the matter fixed for the day, only that we will discuss in the House on the day. If due to any disturbance that matter could not be discussed, that budget proposal could not be discussed, that will not be discussed on the next day. Next day will be discussed only which is due for that day. Now, on the last day of the Parliament, now speaker is
सर प्लीज सर थोड़ा लास्ट तक थोड़ा हिंदी में भी उसको करा दीजिए सर.
okay.
अभी यहीं से जितना है आपका थोड़ा हिंदी में कर दीजिए सर।
ओके, अभी मैंने बताया है, मैं इस पूरे को उसको बता देता हूँ। मैंने बताया है कि 1 फरवरी को पार्लियामेंट में फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर बजट पेश करते हैं। और जो हमारा बजट सेशन होता है उसके तीन तीन हिस्सों में उसको डिवाइड किया होता है। पहला होता है लास्ट वीक ऑफ जनवरी टू 12 ऑफ फरवरी। उसमें बजट के बारे में जनरल डिस्कशन होती है, प्रेसिडेंट की स्पीच होती है। उसके बाद है पार्लियामेंट का एक सिस्टम है, एक रिसेस होती है उसकी 4 वीक्स के लिए। 4 वीक्स में जो डिपार्टमेंट अपना बजट बनाया है जिसको कहते हैं डीडीसी, वो डिपार्टमेंट रिलेटेड स्टैंडिंग कमेटी है, वो उसको 4 वीक्स में एग्जामिन करती हैं। उसके बाद 4 वीक्स के बाद पार्लियामेंट रीअसेंबल होती है। और रीअसेंबल के अंदर है, अब जो ऑनरेबल मेंबर हैं दे कैन आस्क एनी क्वेश्चंस टू द कंसर्न मिनिस्टर। और उसको कहते हैं ब्रिंगिंग ऑफ कट मोशंस। कट मोशन का क्या मतलब होता है? जो मेंबर हैं वो गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी के अगेंस्ट अपने विचार रखते हैं। कट मोशन 3 प्रकार के होते हैं: पॉलिसी कट, टोकन कट एंड इकोनॉमी कट। ओके। अब ड्यूरिंग द पार्लियामेंट सेशन है, पार्लियामेंट सेशन में बहुत डिस्टरबेंस होती है। जो किसी मिनिस्ट्री को डेट फिक्स की हुई है, अगर उसका बजट उस दिन डिस्कस नहीं हुआ है तो नेक्स्ट डे डिस्कस नहीं होगा, नेक्स्ट डे वही होगा जो ओल्ड शेड्यूल में है। अब पार्लियामेंट की एक डेट फिक्स की हुई है, और अभी मान ली 102 डिमांड्स हैं हमारी, उसमें से मान ली 20 डिमांड डिस्कस ही नहीं हुई ड्यू टू डिस्टर्बेंस इन द हाउस। तो स्पीकर को चिंता होती है हमारी 20 डिमांड तो डिस्कस ही नहीं हुई। तो एक एक वर्ड यूज करता है, ब्रिंगिंग ऑफ कट मोशन। कट मोशन ग्लूटन का मतलब होता है ब्रिंगिंग ऑफ ग्लूटेन। ग्लूटेन का मतलब होता है गला काटना, यानी कुछ डिमांड है बगैर डिस्कशन के पास करनी है, तो ऑनरेबल मेंबर उनको बगैर ही डिस्कशन के हाथ खड़े करके पास कर देते हैं। उसका टर्म होता है नाम ग्लूटेन। सारी फॉर्मेलिटी हो गई है। अब पार्लियामेंट हैज अप्रूव्ड द बजट, पार्लियामेंट ने बजट को अप्रूव कर दिया है, लेकिन पार्लियामेंट ने सरकार को पैसा खर्च करने के लिए अलाउ नहीं किया है, अधिकृत नहीं किया है। उसके लिए मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस एक बिल लेके आती है, बिल का नाम होता है अप्रोप्रिएशन बिल। पहले ये लोकसभा में पेश किया जाता है, सारी फॉर्मेलिटी ऑलरेडी हो चुकी होती है, देन इट विल गो टू द राज्यसभा। राज्यसभा इसको पास कर देती है, देन इट विल गो टू द प्रेसिडेंट। जैसे प्रेसिडेंट उसके असेंट दे देता है तो बजट इज पास बाय द पार्लियामेंट, और डिपार्टमेंट आर इन्फॉर्म्ड। डिपार्टमेंट आर इन्फॉर्म्ड, और जो हमारा प्रोसेस है वो पूरा हो गया है। ओके, दिस वाज अबाउट द पार्लियामेंट प्रोसीजर। इफ एनीबॉडी इज हैविंग एनी क्वेश्चन, मोस्ट वेलकम टू आस्क। यस सर, इट इज ओवर फ्रॉम माय
आप
साइड।
या ऑन शेयर सर, ऑन शेयर कर सकते हैं आप, जो उसमें शेयर था ना सर।
मैंने आपको कर दिया, भेज दिया मैंने आपको।